All right, what's up, my peeps? Joshua Smithy with another GSD Mode podcast weekly real estate tip. And today I want to break down a live true story of one of our agent partners that went from struggling to closing 20 homes in the first 90 days of 2025. The difference, tweaks that they made in their business to, again, this is something that had been in the business for 2 years prior. That was closing deals, but they were inconsistent. One here, one there. The roller coaster that pretty much so many in our industry go out there and experience, where you have a deal or two close, and you go 2 or 3 months without a deal close, and pop another couple, and then also 2 years just kind of inconsistent, right? Then all of a sudden just blows up out of nowhere. 20 deals, 90 days. I'm not saying like 20 buyer broker agreements, 20 listing agreements. I'm saying 20 closed pendings in the first 90 days, right? So just a night and day difference. Okay, well, what did they do? What was the difference inside their business? And how did they go out there and do this? Now, this is really important, something that I want you to understand, because it's probably not what you think that it is. You're probably thinking that, oh, they found the secret sauce, they found the magic pill, they found the new magic lead source. I'm here to tell you, it's the same lead source, same environment, same training, same team, same everything. Everything was the same. Been on the same team for this whole entire time. Yeah, right. And one of my agent partners, right? So, so everything, like nothing there changed. Right? So many people like just make an assumption of, oh, well, they're struggling, and all of a sudden they, like, oh, they must have found the secret sauce. They must have found the magic pill. No, a lot of times it's way easier, way more simple than that. The thing I want you to understand before I jump here into what they figured out, what they did, and what this means, is understand that tiny little hinges swing big ass doors. So many in our industry are sitting there trying to go out there and focus on, oh, I got to do a 180 in my business. Sometimes it's just little tiny tweaks here and there. I find so often, people are 90% there. They're just missing the 10%. But like, okay, if I'm cooking something, let's just say there's 10 steps to cooking this thing, 10 ingredients, but I miss one, I only have 9. Okay, it's probably not going to turn out. It's probably not going to taste the same. I'm probably not going to get that, great tasting result, from that. So that happens so often in our real estate business. So we're talking, same city, same location, same team, same lead source, same CRM, same training, same mentorship, same admin support. So like everything was the same. Right? Okay, so then we start having this conversation, with them of, okay, like, what was that difference? What was that tweak? Here's what it was. Now, I hope that you understand that this is deeper than what I'm going to tell you, right? This is why I'm saying that, and I'll go deeper into this as we go through, but what I want you to, like, I'm going to walk you through what they did, but I want you to understand that this is deeper than just what they did, right? Like, meaning that, it's not just about the thing I'm here to tell you. What I'm here to tell you is, like I said a moment ago, is small, tiny hinges swing big doors. This may not be the thing that's missing for you. It might be another thing inside your business. It might be. So when I always look at this is why tracking is so important. I want to know how many leads that you're getting, right? And then I want to know how much energy and effort, leads per lead source. But then I want to know, okay, how many reach outs, how many conversations, how many appointments set, how many appointment conductions, how many clients, how many closings, right? So we know your overall conversion rates. But then in there, we can then sit there and see, okay, well, what's the difference? Like where's the bottleneck? Where we could do a diagnostic? Where's the weakness? Where's the, the choke point, inside your business? Let's just say, okay, your business is, you're at a 50% appointment set to conduction rate. Well, that's easy to get to 75%. We can have that done in like an hour. It's 4 quick, easy things. But I got to know that's the thing that we need to do those, quick, easy adjustments to get that from 50% to 75%, which can make, depending on the volume that you're doing, 50, 100 grand difference to your bottom line for doing no more work, generating the same amount of leads. Like, all of this stuff makes a difference. So, okay, so this particular person, just being intrigued with it, I was talking with our agent partner, the team leader, it's a gentleman that has been, built a team within my team, and now an agent partner with me, EXP, run his team. So I still coach and mentor him. So I'm just out of curiosity. I'm like, dude, like, what's up? Like, what's going on, right, with this? So here's the thing, is they decided finally to master their consultations. So they're like your listing presentation, your buyer consultation, they decided to master those. So it's like, hey, I know you've been preaching for years, master your buyer consultation, master your listing presentation, but they didn't take it serious. They never really did it. They never really had a, an in-depth, good, or even decent buyer consult. They're just winging it like everybody else does in this industry, but they decided to go out there and master it. So, and again, when you look at industry average, okay, industry average buyer consultation or listing presentation is 50%. right? Okay, well, if you're doing amazing at this, if you got it really honed in and dialed in, you should be converting at 90%. Well, that could make a world of difference, right? Like I can't tell you how many people that I will sit down with in this industry, break down their numbers. Let's just say their industry average numbers. So that 50% appointment set to conduction rate, and then they're at 50% appointment conduction to a client taken rate. Well, then we get those to just where they need to be, 75%, 90%. And that can easily quickly just double your business just from that. So okay, they mastered their consultations. Now I'm going to walk you through here on what you got to do to master your consultations, because I want to talk to you about the importance of this and dialing this in. Now, here is my theory, maybe something that they don't understand and know, because they're like, well, that's the thing that I did and went from my business struggling to my business, crushing it, to doing 20 deals in the first 90 days. That was the tweak that they made, but there's side effects. All things have effects. So my theory with this is, okay, when you master your consultations, that also allows you to convert way more of your buyer consults, listing consults into obviously clients. So you can convert at a much higher level and get more customers. But it also allows you to be much more confident and much better at your follow-up, because now you know what you're leading to, and now you have that confidence that you can deliver an amazing presentation. So let's just say the buyer consultation. Okay, like any of my agents, agent partners, whatever, coaching clients, like when I get this mastered in, dialed in for them, like I tell them, hey, the buyer consultation isn't for you. Yeah, I mean, it is in a way, like it's part of the process. But I'm like, the reason why so many agents have a difficult time asking for it is because they think it's all about them. They feel guilty. They feel bad, right? I'm like, hey, the buyer consultation is in the best interest. I don't do it for me. I do it for the potential buyer. Like if my job is to serve and support my buyer clients at the highest possible level, buying their next home, their next piece of real estate, and I want to do everything I can to accomplish that goal, ensure they don't have buyer's remorse. If you look at pretty much every study out there, every survey, and they kind of differ, but it's between 2020 and today, this, but when I say differ, based on the survey or study that you read, it's anywhere between 85% to 90% of people that have bought a home since 2020 have buyer's remorse. I never want to have a client that has buyer's remorse. It's my job to be the unemotional professional leader. Now, in order for me to go out there and help them find and serve and support them in the highest possible level and finding exactly what they want, I need to know what they want. Well, most people don't know what they want, especially if they're a couple. They're definitely not going to know what they want. So I look at that consultation. How can I possibly serve and support anybody with the biggest financial decision of their lifetime, unless I do a proper meeting with them and I unpack and get extreme clarity on what they want, why they want it, why it's most important to them? How can I possibly serve and support them at the highest level if I don't do that? So, okay, when I'm dialing in my consultation, I understand, have a great consultation. I understand that's what the point of the consultation is. Then when we know it's, hey, this is what I need to do, this is the next best step, this is what I need to do to serve and support you at the highest possible level, well, then it makes our follow-up that much easier. Now we know what it's guiding to. We have confidence there. We know what we're doing, right? So my guess is, my theory with this particular agent is it's not just that they got these dialed in, right? It's the change to every other aspect, right? It's kind of like you get your health dialed in. Now you got more energy, you got more mental clarity, your relationships start improving, business starts improving. It's like, oh, well, you impact your health, but all these other positive things came from it, right? Maybe that's a bad analogy. I don't know. But that's my quote unquote theory here, of the explosion, that kind of the side effects of getting these dialed in that have. Okay, so what do you need to do to dial in your consultations? Like what does a great presentation have in place? So there are 4 overall parts to dialing in your listing presentation or buyer consultation. These also apply to a recruiting presentation if you're a team leader, broker owner, whatever, and you're recruiting agents, right? This also, like any great presentation, needs to include these 4 things. So, okay, number 1, inform and educate, right? And the inform and educate goes twofold. You should be informing and educating them. But then you are getting informed and educated, right? So I need to be informed and educated on what their goals are, what their expectations are, what their wants, needs, desires are. But I also need to inform and educate them on what the overall process is, how I operate, what I do, all of it. So inform and educate is a 2-way street. So we need a great presentation, should inform and educate at the highest level. Number 2, should articulate your value. So, okay, I'm in a market with like 60,000 agents just in my county, just in my MLS. So I'm always thinking about, okay, what am I doing to differentiate myself from these other 59,999? We always joke in this industry about all the bad realtors out there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bad ones, but there's also a lot of good ones. Of those 60,000, there's a lot of freaking good ones too. So I'm always thinking about, okay, what differentiates me and how do I articulate my value and get them to choose me with the biggest financial decision that they're going to buy or sell in their lifetime? Right? What am I doing to articulate that they should pick me? The thing I love about real estate is we're actually not selling a physical product. People are sold in the fact they want to buy and sell real estate. It's not our real estate, somebody else's real estate. We actually don't even sell real estate, right? It's not our product. And again, it's the American dream. People are already sold on that fact. What we are articulating and what we are selling on is I am the best guide to help you get from your current living situation that you want to get you from point A to point B. I am the best professional, the best guide to make that a reality for you. So you need to be able to articulate clearly your value. Okay, number 3, identify and overcome any concerns, AKA objections. Right? So I want to, go through and walk through, and part of that's making them feel comfortable. Part of that's your tonality, your body language. All those things add up. It's much more important what you say versus, or I'm sorry, how you say it versus what you say. Like if you look at, especially in an in-person meeting, it's like the words that you say is like 10% of it, and that's being generous. So much of it is your body language, your tonality, your energy. A buddy of mine is, mega luxury agent in Southern California. And this dude like works with all these billionaires, selling, 30 million kind of on the low end, $100 million plus properties. I'm having a conversation with him one day and I'm like, dude, okay, you got all these freaking billionaires, people worth 500 million plus, billion plus. Like, dude, they have people. They like everybody, I'm sure that they're interviewing. They've done their due diligence, or the gatekeepers have done their due diligence. Like they're like, you're not going against newbies. Like everybody's a badass. So how do you win all these listings when everybody that you're interviewing or everybody else that they're interviewing, they're also freaking badasses? And he said to me something that was really interesting. He goes, nobody can match my energy. He goes, man, I have a whole freaking routine. Yeah, right. Like, I mean, like a whole routine, morning routine, evening routine, like a 48-hour routine, like he does to go, like he brings a level of energy because they're all going to present well. They're all going to, right. So like, so all of that stuff matters, so, okay. But being able to identify and overcome their concerns, aka objections. So, okay, each part of the presentation, I take a pause. So let's just say I'm at a listing presentation as an example. Okay, we do the tour, get done with the tour, thank them for the tour. Then I tell them and instruct them of how the presentation is going to go, which I already did on the phone call. I already did right when we met at the property before the tour. Now I'm going to instruct them again because I want their mind to be focused on what I'm discussing, what I'm talking about. Like when I'm talking about the market plan of action, I don't want them thinking about comps and pricing. Right? So it's, hey, now I'm going to walk you through what my step-by-step marketing plan of action is to get your home exposed to the most amount of potential buyers out there. So that way we can get your home exposed at the highest level and ensure we are getting you a top dollar offer. Real estate is just a numbers game. The more potential buyers we get your home exposed to, the more potential buyers that we get walking through your front door, the higher the probability is that we're going to get somebody that falls in love with your home and going to put in a top dollar offer, full price offer for your home. So our marketing plan of action is one of the, if not the most important element of everything that I do. So I'm going to walk you through step by step everything that I'm going to do to expose your home to the most amount of potential buyers. And so then, okay, I jump into that. Now I walk into that. Now at the end of that, right now I'm going to tell them and pre-frame this of, okay, here in a minute, I'm going to walk you through all the comparables, all the comps, what's going on with the market, walk you through what my professional opinion of market value is and recommended starting off list prices. But before we jump into that, do you have any questions about anything that we just discussed based on the marketing plan of action for your home? Right. So before I jump into the next thing, I don't want to obstacle stack because then that creates overwhelm. Then at the end, it's hard for them to make a clear decision. So, okay, I'm going to stop at each stage. Yeah, right. Before I go on to the next, I just want to, hey, any questions about anything that we just discussed? No, all that sounds great. Or maybe like, well, you didn't mention this in there. What about this? Okay, cool. It gives me a chance to overcome that. Yeah, right. So then, oh no, that sounds great. Okay, cool. Now we get into comps, get into pricing. Okay, based on everything that we just saw, based on everything that's going on in the market, based on all the comps that we just reviewed, and based on my professional recommendation and my professional experience, my recommended starting off list price for your home is $750,000. What are your thoughts on that? Well, we're really hoping for 850. Hey, I get that. I understand that. You have such a beautiful home. I think your home should be worth 850 all day long. So I'm in full agreement with you there. But unfortunately, you don't get a set market value. I don't get a set market value. what's going on with the economy, what's going on with the market, what buyers are willing to pay for homes like to your homes, apples to your home, is what dictates and sets market value. And based on what we're seeing right now, the comps that we just went through for homes that are apples to your home, what buyers are willing to pay for a home like yours today is 750. Now, if you would have called me maybe 2 years ago, we could have got you that 850, but now today it's 750. Now, with that being said, is 850 what you are hoping to get, or do you think that there's something wrong with my comparables? Because those are two different total paths. Right? I need to unpack what that true concern is, true objection, so I know how to handle it. Because objections are just concerns. I need to understand that concern so I know how to handle it properly, see if we can move forward or not. Right? So then, okay, identify overcoming the objections. And then the last one is then, okay, lead seamlessly into the close. All of these four things are important. If you're missing one of these, okay, you're going to have an ineffective presentation. Right? I can't tell you how many coaching clients or agent partners that I work with over the years, or that, were on their own. They start working with me. We start breaking this stuff down. That maybe, this is very common. I see buyer consultation, listing presentation. People are really good at the first three, but they don't know how to lead seamlessly into the close. Like, you got to get that honed in. You got to get that dialed in. Right? Or they give too much time. Well, we need to think about it. Okay. Go ahead and think about it. It's a big decision. I get that. I understand that. Here's my card. Here's my information. I'll also check in on you the next day or two, see how you're doing. Like, that's way too much time. They don't need a day to think about it. They don't need, right? Like, there's better, more effective ways to handle that. So we got the four parts, to making sure that you are nailing an overall buyer consultation listing presentation. But again, when you nail them, not only having it put together, but practice them. So this is something we're always pushing to our agents of, hey, I want you to practice your presentations 3 hours, or 3 times every single day, for your first year, because you get in 1,000 reps on your buyer consultation, 1,000 reps on your listing presentation. Even though you're only a year into this business, maybe you're brand new and you're a year into this business, you're going to kick the living crap out of somebody that's been doing this 30 years because you got more reps, right? But then that gives confidence. Now, when I'm confident on what I'm presenting, I'm confident on what I'm doing, okay, then that carries over to, not just, that carries over to my, every aspect of it, my lead gen, my lead follow-up, all of these different things. So I guess the point I'm trying to really articulate here, and hopefully all of that was really helpful, but what I want you to understand is that all matters. Everything matters. Now, sometimes things don't matter, right? We got to be able to identify what matters, what doesn't matter, cut out the BS that isn't working, that isn't effective. But other things that are working and are effective, understand that all matters. It all matters. Right? Like when I'm doing an open house as an example, okay, my property selection matters. How I do my pre-marketing matters. How I do my, setup process matters. So my signage, setup, sign-in process matters. How I do my tour matters. How I ask for that appointment at the end of that tour matters. How I do my follow-up, like every step of the process matters. We got to make sure that you got the right strategy plan for you based on your strengths, your situation, your market, your goals, but then everything that comes into there matters. Okay, when I'm doing a Facebook ad, the image matters. The headline matters. The freaking button matters. The learn more, sign up, or call it, like, the button matters. The descriptions matter. The emoji matters. If I'm driving people to an opt-in page, the colors matter. The button colors matter. The size of the button, like, it all matters. It all makes a world of difference. Right? So just repeating myself here, going back to what I talked about at the beginning, I just want you to understand, small, tiny hinges swing big ass doors. So if you're not getting the results that you want to get, or that you're hoping to get, like, so it's too easy. So many people are like, oh, dude, I got bad leads. I need better leads. I don't know. Most of my experience is it's not the leads, it's you, right? Meaning that, like, dude, I've never really seen bad leads. Now, there's better strategies. There's higher converting lead sources, but I've never really seen the lead itself be the issue. It's almost always. I don't want to say there's always exceptions to the rule. So I don't want to say it's never happened, but it's very, very rare that I see that. It's almost every single time it's, okay, what you are doing, it's you have an ineffective strategy, an ineffective approach, right? You're missing one of the ingredients, that is necessary to have success with that thing. So, but that's the great thing about this. When we allow ourselves to take full responsibility, own everything, operate with, it's 100% my fault. So if we know it's us that's the problem, here's the great part about that. Then we also know that we're the solution. So anyway, I hope that you found this helpful. If you want to have a conversation with me, jump on a 30-minute quick Zoom call with me to learn more about partnering together at eXp. Truly believe that we can do more together than we can apart, where I can walk you through everything that we do, everything that we offer. We're able to also get access, 100% access, not just, with all the EXP's amazing tools training, which is world-class, amazing. The opportunities there are just mind-blowing. Every day that I'm there, I just get more and more impressed. The company, the support, everything there is just world-class. But on top of that, you get 100% full free access to all my coaching, all my mentorship, from one-on-one to group to all my live on-demand stuff, all my resources, man, like my whole business in a box, I just give to you. There's nothing I, withhold from you. But on top of that, you also get full access to my business partner, Mike Sherrard, best in the world, hands down, at social media. So whether you want to grow $1 million a year business or beyond through YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, like you name the platform, he's the best in the world at building real estate businesses through social media and AI. Get full access to his coaching program, 5 weekly Zoom calls every single week to support our agent partners. And you get it all for free. You don't pay us anything. So when I say partner together, it's not like you joining my team. There's the EXP allows a model for us to work together to help support you at the highest level, crushing your team, crushing your business as an individual agent, or if you want to grow and expand into a mega team, whatever level that you want to get to, allows us to partner with you, will cost you nothing, and be able to support you at an extremely, extremely high level. So if you want to jump on 100% confidential, 100% zero pressure Zoom call with me personally, just to walk you through, hey, here's what we do, here's how we work, here's how we operate, answer any questions that you have. And look, at the end of that call, if you think we're a great fit, awesome. If not, that's okay too. We could still be friends. But I think you owe it to yourself, owe it to your family to at least jump on a quick 30-minute Zoom call with me just to have a discussion about the opportunity. Again, promise you I will not try to sell you. I will not try to recruit. I don't want anybody that I have to sell. Right? If I got to sell you to come, I got to sell you to stay. I learned a long time ago with recruiting, whether it be my team, brokerage, or now, with this EXP model, that if I got to recruit you to join, like if I got to sell you to join, I got to sell you to stay. And it's just not worth like I do. I want people that get it, that see it, that understand the value, that want to roll with us. So like I said, if it's not a fit for you, cool. We'll still be friends. No harm, no foul. Like I'm not gonna, not gonna bite. No hard pressure there. So if that's something that you want to do, which again, I highly encourage you to do so. It's going to be with you and I personally. There will be a link below in the show notes or the description. It'll be the top link where you can book a 30-minute quick Zoom call with me. Like I said, 100% confidential. I understand the importance of that. When I was making this decision and exploring this, I needed everything to be confidential. I couldn't get word out. Nobody knew until the day I made the move. Right? Like I needed confidence. It was important to me, and I know it is, to a lot of you. And also 100% zero pressure. So again, go schedule that call. Look forward to talking to you soon. Hopefully this was helpful. Keep crushing, keep kicking ass. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.